I'm Jennifer Cyphers. I'm the president of Pinwheel, and I'm here to give you a little orientation of your Pinwheel Swoop software and hardware. So I'm going to start by giving you a little introduction to the touchscreen computer, and then I'm going to tell you how to use the Swoop software to help you increase your leases. So first, to turn the computer on, there's a little power button on the side of the computer. When it's lit green, that means that the computer is on. If it's red or not lit, that means that your computer is not getting any power. There are also some USB ports here, so you can plug in your wireless keyboard that you received with your unit. You shouldn't have to use the keyboard at all with your Swoop software, but this is a Windows computer, so it comes with a keyboard in case you ever need it or want it. Additionally, you need to power on the monitor, which is a separate power source. So even if it's lit green on the side and the screen is dark, all you need to do is use your remote control. There are two infrared sensors down here that look like little circles. So point your remote control there, and it will turn on your monitor. And just turn it off again. So when you look at your computer screen, you can tell it's really just a Windows computer. So what we've done is we've had this custom built for you. It's a Windows computer inside with a large screen monitor, and then touch sensors are built in as well. But to manage the computer, you just use it like any other Windows computer. So for example, to turn it off, you're just going to press the Windows icon in the lower left-hand corner, like you would a desktop, and then touch shut down, and it will shut down your computer, which we recommend doing every night, just like any other Windows computer. A couple things are a little bit different because this is a touchscreen computer. One is that you can't double click on this because you're not using a mouse. So instead what you do is you're going to hold your finger down for a few seconds, and then the sub-menu will appear. The other thing that I want to show you is how to calibrate your machine. Your computer should come fully calibrated, which means that the touch sensors are accurately aligned with where you're touching it. But if it ever feels like it's off a little bit, like you touch here and the sensor is maybe a quarter of an inch off, you can recalibrate it. There is a little triangle in the bottom right of your screen, and when you touch it, it gives you a sub-menu. If you press the plus button, it will give you a menu that allows you to calibrate your machine. They'll tell you not to touch it while it's loading. And then the screen's going to go black, and it's going to give me a plus sign. So all I have to do is press my finger in the middle of that plus sign until it turns green, and it will register where the touch point is and reset that calibration for me. All right, then I press OK, and we're in business. So that's all you really need to know about the hardware. You'll get a user guide as well. Now I want to talk to you about how to use your software. To launch your software, you're just going to double tap on the icon that says Swoop, and it will bring your software up. It will take a few minutes to load. A few things about this to give you the history. We actually built this application on tons of user history and user data. So we had a lot of information about how people search for apartments from the time that they decide to rent an apartment until they sign a lease. And then in addition to all that data that we've collected and reviewed, we talked to people who were prospective residents who were looking for an apartment, and got a lot of information from them about what they liked about the process, what they didn't like about the process, and how we can improve it. So there are a lot of little things in here that make a huge difference in terms of usability that may not be totally apparent to you. For example, we always have 4 items on your home screen that are always apparent to the user. So instead of having a screensaver that would say touch menu again, which will make people less likely to use the touch screen, we show them what they can do, and we give them a limited number of options so that they're not overwhelmed by their choices. First, we're going to go into Find a Home, which is where people are going to spend the most amount of time. We recommend that you start your leasing process at this system. And the reason is because, one, the use of technology is going to bridge a gap for your prospective resident who may not be really excited about coming in and going through the sales process, but who will be excited about using technology to aid them on their search. Additionally, this big screen creates a collaborative experience, so you can actually go through this process with the resident. If you have an iPad application, that's great to use during the tour or when you're walking the property, but to start, it's better to use this large screen application so that you can have a more collaborative experience and you and your prospective resident can be using and touching the same screen and looking at the same thing. So we're going to start on the map. And you'll start by asking your prospective resident what they're interested in so you can narrow the results. So they may be interested just in 1 bedrooms and maybe their max price is $1,700 and they need something that's available now. Then that will narrow your results to all of your available units that fit that criteria. And you can see where they are available on the map. What's great about this is that it will help you to orient the customer, your prospective resident, and it will help you to determine where on site they actually want to live. So if they have a dog, it might be important to them to live near the dog park, for example, and then you can see the unit that is available for them that is close to the dog park. Another way to look at the same information is to switch to the floor plan view. All of the filters that I've selected are still going to be the same, so it still says that I want 1 bedroom, my max price is $1,700, and I need something available now. It's literally just toggling between different views of the same information. What leasing agents need to apply here to be successful is what we call the rule of twos. The rule of twos is giving your prospective resident 2 choices at a time to help them narrow what they want to see. So we bring up 2 floor plans at a time. The floor plans, when fully expanded, are sized so that you can see 2 floor plans perfectly in one view. And then you can compare the floor plans and talk about what the similarities are and what the differences are. Then, when you help them to choose between the 2 floor plans, you close the one that they don't want and bring up another one. And that way you can help them to narrow down what they want and help to create that sense of urgency because they want a particular floor plan instead of being sold on your property. Once you've narrowed down to the few floor plans that they like, you can then select the units that are available within that floor plan. And if there's different prices or different information that go to that floor plan, all that information will be updated here. Then when they've selected 2 or 3 units that they love, they'll touch the star icon here, which will save the information to their favorites. So what we're doing here is kind of like a choose your own adventure where you're helping your prospective residents to narrow down the 1 or 2 or 3 units that really perfectly match what they're looking for. You can also do this from the map page. When you look at an available unit on the map page, you'll see the same star icon so you can save units from here as well. Additionally, when you click on View Gallery, all of the pictures in the gallery can be saved to the favorite. So if there are pictures that really speak to this prospective resident, they can save the pictures that are just most important to them. Then when you go to the favorites page, we have a personalized portfolio that includes all of the information that is just really relevant to your prospective resident. They can open each image from here, and if they've decided that they don't want to save one of these to their favorites page, they can press the minus sign to delete it from their favorites. Then once everything is ready, they can send this information to themselves, to another prospective resident, to their spouse, mom, roommate, whatever. And what it's going to do is it's going to take all this information and compile it into a really pretty digital brochure that's going to be emailed to themselves or to their friend. Then the leasing staff will also get a copy of this email, which is great, powerful information. So you can see Jennifer Seifert was in here today. She liked unit 226. and 233, and she loved this picture of our clubhouse. The other options that are available on your touchscreen are the About TCR page, which is information about Trammell Crow Residential. This is on every Trammell Crow property. And then we also have an embedded Google map. We're using Google's API for this, so all of the information that's here is going to be information that we've collected from Google. In addition to this, we can manually add markers and add information that you want to be included here. So for example, if there is a dry cleaner nearby that gives your residents 10% off, we can highlight that dry cleaner and put that information in the marker here. And lastly, the way you get back to the home screen is to touch the Alexan Creekside logo, and that will take you home. You do not have the favorites icon on the home page because we don't give users that option until they've actually had a chance to save information to their favorites page. But we've designed this in a way that prospective residents can come up if you have overflow traffic. It's really simple and obvious how they use it so that they can use it and get the information they need. But if you're applying the rule of twos as a leasing agent, where you're bringing up 2 floor plans at the same time and using that to narrow your prospective residents' options, then it is a very powerful sales tool. We hope you really enjoy using this. If you ever have any questions about it, please contact us at support@pinwheel.com. Thank you.